Well, good morning. My name is Greg Fenves, and I'm very honored to say I am the president of the University of Texas. Thank you for being here. This morning I've met with two groups very important to the university's success. I started out with meeting with our facilities folks, about 300 or 400 of our facilities folks that keep the university running every day, and thank them for all their hard work. I just came from a meeting of East Austin community leaders talking about important issues of how the university engages with our community, especially in the East Austin neighborhood. Later today, I'll be meeting with our students, faculty members. I'll go downtown to meet with Mayor Adler, and to the Capitol to meet with Governor Abbott and several others during the day. I wanted to speak with you, the press and the media, and by extension, all of your readers and viewers across the state and across the nation, to describe my vision for the University of Texas at Austin as one of the premier flagship universities in our nation. Today, the University of Texas is in great shape, but to continue building our excellence and become an even greater university, we are always evolving as the landscape for higher education changes and the needs of our citizens and the state and nation change. We are always adapting. My vision for doing this is a concept I call innovating excellence. Innovating excellence begins by strengthening UT as a place where undergraduates routinely collaborate with faculty and graduate students and researchers, conducting research, getting involved in experiential and project-based learning that adds to their classroom experience. Every student at the University of Texas should benefit from an education at a top research university, our University of Texas. It also means giving undergraduates the support they need to be successful, to stay on track, and yes, graduate in 4 years. This is the best way to hold down the cost of education and welcome Texans of all backgrounds into our diverse student body and prepare them for careers of leadership. Innovating excellence means expanding our research enterprise and our research mission, whether in the arts and sciences, the humanities, engineering, the professions, and the other great fields that are covered at the University of Texas. This allows us to understand our society better and to address some of the most pressing problems facing society in the city, in the state, and around the world in energy, water, health, education, and transportation, to name just a few examples. Finally, innovating excellence means seeking out new ways to interact with the world through online learning opportunities, which we have a tremendous number of and are increasing, our vast collections in our libraries and special collections, our arts and performing arts, and our world-class athletics programs. One new initiative that sums up the concept of innovating excellence is what we are doing with the Dell Medical School, which will open in just about a year. By partnering with the community and rethinking health education and the delivery of health care, the Dell Medical School will revolutionize the way Texans and Central Texans get and stay healthy. Later this morning, I'll be going over to the Dell Medical School to get a briefing from Dean Clay Johnston, the department chairs, and the staff that are creating this magnificent new medical school. It is a great honor to lead this university into the future, to build our levels of excellence, to increase diversity, and to make sure that our public research university provides value to the entire state and the nation. And now I'm happy to take your questions about these and other issues facing the University of Texas. Yes?
Greg, have you put together any task forces or committees, to look at things on campus, things you want to address right away as you embark on this?
Well, I've not put together any task committees or committees. I'm working with my leadership team, including recruiting new leaders. I know the university pretty well, having been here for 7 years, so I have some pretty strong views of what I would like to do, what I think needs to be done. That will require consultation with the faculty, with our university leaders, in many cases with the community. So I'm just starting to put together ideas about how to develop those kinds of strategies. But I've been talking with a lot of people about many of the issues facing the university. Yes?
You have a pretty good, you have a pretty good vision for UT. But in the wake of campus carry, that's really the hot topic right now.
Yes.
And with UT's size, and some people are saying that, hey, this could possibly increase more campus shootings. What are your views on that?
Well, I released a statement on Monday after the Texas Senate and House passed the bill. It's going to the governor. I expect the governor will sign it. So we will follow the law. That will be the law of the state of Texas. I'm very pleased that the final version of the bill does recognize that the campus has some unique issues because of its size and complexity, and we're dealing with young people. That there will be some judgment given to me as president and working with the chancellor and the board of regents to decide how to implement that. So we have about a year to develop those policies. We will work closely with the chancellor. He's been very clear in his views that campus safety is paramount, and ultimately we'll be proposing policies to the board of regents. Yes.
The legislature could not agree to reforms on the Hazelwood Act.
Yeah.
Where does that leave UT in the near future in terms of how you're just going to handle those burgeoning costs?
Yeah. So this is Hazelwood, which provides an important benefit to our veterans who've served the nation, allows them to come to Texas universities. We have many veterans here at the University of Texas. We have a very strong veteran support program. We've recently announced a change in our admissions process for veterans who had graduated from high school that were automatically admitted to the university to give them an extension of that auto-admit status because we're very interested in having veterans come and get an education at the University of Texas. The Hazelwood Act is currently an unfunded program. We have been providing education to veterans since Hazelwood was established. The state leadership recognizes it's unfunded. I think they made good efforts to try to resolve the issues and providing some support to not only the University of Texas at Austin, but our other state institutions. The bill was not successful, but I know there's strong commitment on the leadership in the interim session to start to look at solutions that are politically viable in the legislature. So I'm hopeful we'll have serious discussions on plans that we can bring to the next legislature and help support our veterans.
Greg, it's my understanding that the Central University set aside $15 million for a new tennis facility because it was taken down for the new medical school. Just wanted to see if that's how you understand it, and have there been any decisions made about going forward with the split of the Longhorn Network money, the $15 million that comes in from ESPN, that I think Bill and DeLoss had agreed to split the first 5 years?
Yeah. So on the tennis courts, at the most recent Board of Regents meeting in May, we have an approved project, approved plan for the east side, and of course the community. It's something we worked with the community on a great deal. It has several components to it, but one is the new location for the tennis center. So that is now an approved project. I believe the total project cost now is $17 million, but I'm not quite sure about that. And that's been funded, and we're going to proceed. We have some relocation of existing facilities there, but we're going to get started on that project as soon as possible. There are longstanding agreements with the athletic department on funding, a variety of funding. It operates in a business sense as an auxiliary, and that includes the revenue distribution from the Longhorn Network, and that will continue. There are no changes in those internal agreements.
Greg, as long as we're talking about athletics, what is your vision of the athletic department? How do you think it's been run? And specifically, what do you think of the job Steve Patterson's been doing?
Let me take those questions in reverse order. I think Steve is doing a great job as athletic director. He has made two fantastic coaching hires in Coach Strong and Coach Smart, energized the programs. They're off to a tremendous recruiting season. Outstanding individuals. They are educators too. They're not just top coaches, they're educators and understand the important role athletics plays at a university and supports their athletes as students also, not just as athletes. So I think Steve's done an outstanding job in those recruiting decisions. College athletics is a changing landscape. There's a lot of legal issues that are now pending. There is more attention to student success as not just athletes, but as students. And the recently released NCAA APR ratings, we did very, very well with a number of our teams scoring the maximum. I think the football team had the highest score in the history of the NCAA, keeping track of APR scores. So our athletics program is doing very well by our student athletes. And it's also a business, and Steve has brought a business sense to it, and thinking about how do we enhance the fan experience, the commitment to the Longhorn Nation, and we also are one of the few schools that actually does quite well in terms of the finance, and Steve has played a big role in that. I've known Chris Plonsky in the 7 years that I've been at UT, and she's doing an outstanding job as women's athletic directors. The women's basketball team and her recruitment of Coach Aston has really turned that team around, and so I'm very pleased with the performance of both. In terms of my vision for athletics, I think it was DeLoss Dodds who talked about winning with integrity. I think that is a fantastic vision for our athletics program. We want a top quality, high-class athletics program that recognizes we're a collegiate athletics program performing at the top of the collegiate environment, but we're going to do it with integrity. And I think our leadership strongly supports that vision and is carrying it out.
Can I ask a follow-up real quick? Talking about the money side of it, there was pressure from the administration to help to get athletics to give more than $9 million annually, which is part of the line item of the budget. Are you pressuring Steve to give more than the $9 million that's been given back to the campus side every year? And then secondly, a question that's more game day driven, how do you feel about beer sales at World Memorial?
Okay, so let me take the first question. The current agreements on how athletics functions as an auxiliary have not changed, and I don't see them changing. So on the second question, I do support beer sales at the football games. They've worked well in the basketball games. It's been done at other athletic venues across the state, including UT system schools. We have very devoted fans that attend the games and expect a high-quality experience, and I think being able to serve beer to them is part of that experience. We have very sophisticated and elaborate safety precautions in terms of security and monitoring. We have not had any problems at the other large venues that we've had beer sales, and I think it enhances the fan experience and makes coming to a Longhorn football game more attractive for individuals that want to enjoy the game and have a glass of beer while they're at it.
Have you decided what you would like to do with the Jefferson Davis statue? That's kind of getting some tension on campus.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I have not. The answer is no. I have not decided. I know the student government has submitted a petition to President Powers. I haven't been to my office really yet, so it's probably in the inbox. I will be looking at it. It touches on a lot of important issues. They're not new issues. President Faulkner had had a committee that looked at it, and I need to study the results of that committee and consult with the students, with the faculty, with the community before I reach a decision on it.
Do you believe it will continue to divide the campus at all?
Do I believe it'll continue to divide the campus? I see it as many artifacts of the history of this country, the state, and of the university. there are many things that divide people, and the role of a university is to educate and to understand our history and learn from our history and use that in the future. So there are many things that are potentially divisive. The role of the university is to understand and educate and bridge those divisive aspects. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm not ignoring the left side here. Yes?
Just a quick follow-up, the beer sales. Greg, are you saying that there will be beer sales at football games, or is there more checks that have
There's
to...
more checks. President Powers has made that recommendation to the system. I have endorsed that recommendation, and we are waiting for final consultation and confirmation from the system before we make the decision. Yes.
You've talked a couple times about kind of improving the relationship with people from East Austin.
Yes.
Is there anything you can say specifically about, what you're trying to do there, what your goals are with that relationship?
Well, there are neighbors. There are immediate neighbors, and so we want to be able to work closely with our neighbors. We have we have students that live there. We have increasingly faculty that are interested in living in East Austin. We would like to draw students from the local community, including East Austin. There's a history of poor relations between the university and East Austin. I think President Powers has made tremendous inroads in bridging those past problems. The new East Side Master Plan that we presented to the Board of Regents in May that I earlier referenced was within close consultation with the community and bringing in graduate housing, bringing in more residents' use of university-owned property will help tremendously with good relations. We work in a number of areas, education in the elementary schools. We're working with the local community on some of the park land. And most importantly, we're working with the community with our partnership with Houston Tillotson, particularly in mental health issues and recruiting some top faculty and developing plans for mental health and behavioral clinics, which is an important aspect of our Dell Medical School mission. Yes.
Graduation rates lag behind those of your peer institutions, and there's a push on to increase them. What will be your goal for a four-year undergraduate rate?
Right. My goal is going to remain the same of 70% of our freshmen who are admitted to the University of Texas graduate in 4 years. As background, when I came to UT in 2008 from UC Berkeley, I was shocked at the low graduation rates. I actually thought maybe the university counted numbers differently, but that's the way it had been. And we have made some good strides in increasing that. Some of it is administrative, some of it is pedagogical and how our curriculum's structured, but some of it students just like to be at the university and are not in a rush to graduate. And so part of it is just changing the culture of what it means to come to UT for a bachelor's degree. So I think we are on track with the programs, the student success programs that have been developed in the provost office, of which I was responsible for the past year and a half. And I think we're going to be on target and trying to reach that goal, its stretch goal, with the class of 2017, which will be the first class that will have gone through the university with this new focus on student success.
One more.
Obviously, as provost, questions about Longhorn Network beer at football games weren't something that kind of came across your desk much,
Yes.
I would assume. Can you just talk about if there's much of a adjustment there in terms of kind of taking on kind of some of these broader issues that maybe weren't in your area?
Well, there's learning. Athletics is the one area of the university that I'm not as familiar with, having been a dean and having been provost. I've been an avid Longhorn fan since I moved to UT over 7 years ago. We have a very high quality program. I know many of the people, and I have been getting up to speed on the issues. Last week, I attended my first Big 12 Conference board meeting with the other presidents of the Big 12 universities. And I was already, by that time, pretty well briefed on many of the issues having to do with Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 television rights, championship game, competitiveness of the Big 12 conference compared with the other Power 5 conferences. So hopefully with my lingo, you're getting the idea that I'm getting up to speed on athletics.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everybody. Look forward to working with you in my term as president.